guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. So today we've got a very special tarot card reading for Monique. And Monique, well, she reached out today and she wants to know if a certain someone, and I'm not going to mention his name just because privacy reasons and everything like that, don't want to give away too much. Just keep people's privacy, her privacy and his. But Monique wants to know if her and this guy will have an opportunity to talk and discuss a possible reconciliation. And basically just wants to know if he's going to be reaching out again. So let's kind of find out. So for you guys that are new to the channel, that haven't ever seen any of these readings before that we do, let me just kind of give you a little perspective on kind of the lowdown on how this works. So what we do is we do I typically do, like for many of the general readings or to get more clarification or understanding around a certain circumstance, sometimes we'll do a 7-card reading. And that's what we're going to be doing today. 7-card reading, we talk about the past, what's happened in the past, what's going on in the present moment, what we see in the near future happening. We look at really the energy surrounding the current situation. We look at the energy or maybe the attitude or the understand, or what the person would like, the querent, that's the person that's actually having the reading done. In this case, it's Monique. So really what Monique would like to see is sort of the verdict or the outcome, that kind of thing. We'll look at what the actual outcome is, and then we'll kind of see what the answer, the key to that outcome, what that basically consists of. So let's get started. So the past card, and of course this is the near past, probably it could be about 5 months out. I'm picking up somewhere around that ballpark. We have the Page of Wands. So the pages are messengers. Wands, of course, are about energy or action, activity, doing things, swiftness. It's that fiery energy, kind of like a Leo energy. And you see this going on. In the present moment, we have the Queen of Cups. That's what's going on right now. Queen's all about influence. Cups about energy in terms of relationship energy, psychic energy. It's intuition. It's a watery sign, sort of like an Aquarius or something along those lines. And this Queen, she's out in the water and stuff, but she's got control. She can have influence over relationships. She can have the upper hand, whether it be directly or indirectly. She knows what to say to get her way. She doesn't have to be the person in power in order to be powerful. That's what this person represents. That's the current situation. So in the past, maybe 5 months or so out, we had this Page of Wands, and this was a lot of energy going on. And it's creative potential. Something happened. An idea came about. People got excited. And good things came about from it. And now we are in a situation where we have this Queen of Cups. It's this person who's able to influence relationships. And that's from Monique. So just being, having emotional influence, also being kind of empathetic, empathic, really, to being able to understand how other people feel and what their emotions are so that we can connect with them kind of deeply. When you're able to interact with people based on their emotions, it really does allow you to be in a position of influence. You can say the right things to someone in order to get them to do things that may help them, or in some not so positive situations that could actually affect them in a negative way, hurt them. So you have to be careful when you have that kind of power. right now you're in a empowered position, an empowered place. So it gives you a lot of ability to create things for yourself that you want, like to get what you want. So if you're wanting a reconnection with this person, that's a definite yes. I mean, you can definitely make that happen. And a reconciliation could very well be in the cards for you. But again, it comes down to really what you want, and you know, how can you take that influence that you have right now and be able to use it to get that? So in the near future, I'm calibrated about 3 months out, by the way, guys, if you're not familiar with the way I kind of process things psychically. But I'm kind of processed out to about 3 months out. And I can tell you based on the energy of the card, whether it's a little bit longer than 3 months or a little bit shorter than 3 months or way longer than 3 months and so on and so forth. I can almost kind of pinpoint more precisely what the date would be, but I hesitate sometimes giving an exact date or something like that because, well, nobody likes to be wrong, but also that I don't like to give people's hopes up or anything like that. In the same way, I do try to, when something is clear or comes to me kind of automatically, I do try to put it out there for you so that you have it. In the near future, this is about, I said 3 months, but this one here, I'm getting about 4 months is where I'm picking this up at. And in a 4-month span, in about 4 months from now, just about 4 months. So we have August, September, October, November. So about November. Last week of October, the first week of November is when this energy comes into full force. This is the moon right here. And the moon is one of the most hypnotizing cards in the deck. It hypnotizes the wild animal. It hypnotizes the tame animal. It doesn't matter. It's no respecter of persons. It just has that influence over people in order to just basically hypnotize them, put them in an altered state, make them feel differently, and it creates sort of illusory energy that kind of happens. What's really nice about the moon, though, is it creates a very psychic atmosphere. So it makes things like where we're really intuitive, we're able to pick up things, we're able to get hunches, we can read between the lines. We can see things that we maybe couldn't see before, see them in a different way. You look at the face in the moon, look at it, eyes closed, kind of just radiating this power, just really like able to have that effect. It's a spiritual effect. It's like someone maybe like a monk or someone that's been praying for many, many years, and they just have this energy about them. They just exude this energy, and just being in their presence, you know that you're in the presence of someone who's got some spiritual favor or something like that kind of thing. And this is like really illuminating. It's like seeing things that you couldn't really see before, but it's also not being able to see everything quite so clearly. So by not rationally being able to see things, you're more spiritually or emotionally able to conceive things that maybe you can't really exactly pinpoint consciously what things mean, but you can get them on sort of an intuitive level. And this is about 4 months out. It's going to be a time in your life where when this starts to hit you, you're going to be more emotional. You're going to get things. You're going to be much more intuitive and very much more influential in terms of being able to achieve things and get what you want. And things are virtually going to be effortless for you. So by effortless, I just mean that you won't really have to try real hard to do things because you won't be operating consciously as much as you will be operating unconsciously. And in that unconscious state, you'll be able to do things that you otherwise consciously couldn't do. Because a conscious mind can process maybe between, somewhere between 5 to 9 message units at any given moment. And because of that limited scope, the unconscious, of course, can process much more and help us in ways that our conscious mind maybe can't. But this here is a card that puts you in a really interesting state, almost like a spiritual state in some ways. Like you will feel a sense of connection to something that maybe you haven't felt before, or something that you haven't felt in a long time, and something that you've really yearned for. Maybe something that you doubted that you could ever feel again, but it's going to come up. And when it does, it's going to really hit you. It's really going to, you might even cry. I mean, it's that kind of an energy. I mean, just talking about it, I nearly cried a moment ago. It's not going to be a bad energy. It's going to be a really positive energy for you. Guys, my name is Chandra, and I'm a monk, of course. I talk about that on some of the videos. But as a monk, my name is Chandra. I was raised in India, and Chandra means moon, actually, in Sanskrit. So I have a connection to this card as well. And so with the moon energy in that. My brother's name is Aditya, and Aditya means sun. Like Surya is sun, like in Sanskrit. So it's that light and dark. It's sort of that yin and yang, that back and forth. So I have sort of an understanding of this that I can give you more insight on. So I hope that helps a little bit. It's about 4 months from now with that energy. Now, let's look at that Queen of Cups for a moment, because that's where we talked about the influence coming in. That's where we said that, if you want a reconciliation with this person, it's, you can make it happen, no problem. That the power is really within your power. So let's look at really the energy surrounding that Queen of Cups. So the energy surrounding that Queen of Cups is this card right here. This is the Lovers. Some people think of this as like a soulmate type card. This is usually in life where a person is making a decision whether they're going to spend the rest of their life with someone, or make a vow or a commitment to someone else and partner up, or maybe not. Maybe they're going to go life alone and be by themselves. And maybe that's more in their nature for that. It's sort of this crossroads. It's sort of this place where we have to make a decision. A decision needs to be made at some point. And we can't just keep having our cake and eating it too. We need to kind of come to terms with what it is that we want, what we're going after. And from that point, when we finally make that decision, more positive things can come into our life. So this is a really interesting card with this Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is the influence over relationships, being able to get what you want. And then we see that highlighted here with this, almost like the soulmate type card. It's the Lovers. It's where two become one. But the decision needs to be made. Now, as far as Monique's attitude, or maybe kind of where her energy lies, that sort of thing, we have the Knight of Wands. You can see the knight there on the horse with the wand in his hand. Knights are about movement, things happening, things taking place, things moving forward, things continuing. Wands, they're about creative energy, but it's really about activity, action, doing things. So what we see in this is we see this horse, he's up on 2 feet, and he's got 2 feet up, and he's getting ready to just bolt forward. And the knight doesn't even worry about anything. Look, he's very calm in that saddle. He's got that jousting rod, or that wand, whatever you want to call it. He's ready to go into battle. He's ready to take action. No questions asked. Let's do this. And that's really kind of where Monique is at with it. So as far as making a reconciliation, all for it. So guys, we have gone through the first 2 kind of sections to this tarot card reading already. The first is being the past, the present, and the future. Kind of analyze the situation as far as things goes with kind of where Monique and this person were at once upon a time. It was sort of this, it was that Page of Wands, so it's sort of that energy card, a message of energy, taking things forward. Then we saw that, we had the Queen of Influence, the Queen of Cups. So it's sort of like one person having more control over the relationship than the other, being able to get what they want. In this case, it's Monique being able to get more what she wants out of the relationship with this person. And we see that sort of the energy surrounding that was the lovers, sort of relationship, to be able to use that to our advantage in order to gain some kind of upper hand, but also to be able to use that energy to have to make a decision. Do we move this thing forward? Do we move this thing back? Ultimately, a decision has to be made. And, love, not to sound cliche here or anything, but love is a sacrifice where, something is gained really when something is forfeited. So if you love someone and you want to be with that person, then you forfeit being by yourself. And if you forfeit being with someone in exchange for being by yourself, you forfeit, being with that person. So it's a give and a take. It's a no-win situation, but it can definitely have some positive, profound impacts on our life when we make the right decision in that regard. Love is one of those things that's a hard decision to make because it's not something you make lightly. And it's something that requires an analyzing our emotions, our feelings, which is very often hard to do because feelings and emotions are really done at a deeper, unconscious level. Whereas rational, everyday thinking, is this person going to help me pay the bills? Is this person going to, be a good father? Is this person going to do this, this, and this? Those are practical things that we also analyze. And at the end of the decision-making process, we have to decide, what are we going to do? Where is this thing going? And then the past card that we talked about was the moon. The moon is really that hypnotizing energy. It narrowly focuses our attention in one particular direction. We start to let go of negativity, doubt, critical thinking, negative thoughts, things like that when the moon comes out. But we really become sort of mesmerized to this unconscious way of acting and being. And it basically is a card that asks us, we have to trust our intuition, trust our dreams, basically accept the unknown. That's what the moon is really all about. And when we get to about 4 months out, we said that the moon is going to be that force that we're going to have to be confronted with, which is really interesting. And then we said that as far as Monique goes, her energy and everything, where she's at right now with everything, is still kind of like in the beginning, we had that Page of Wands. Now we have the Knight of Wands. That's moving things even more forward. And that's really what Monique is wanting. Now, so those two things we've really covered. Now we go into really the last phase of this. And the last phase is where we talk about the outcome. And we talk about how to go about making the outcome a reality in terms of what's the answer, the solution. And just like a door that's locked can be unlocked with the right key, the same thing applies to the outcome. With the right key, you can unlock that outcome and get that. If you decide that at any point along this journey that you don't want that outcome, well, you can simply choose to keep the door locked and keep moving forward in a different direction. But for this, we have the outcome being the Hermit. It's a solitary figure here, traveling the path by themselves. They have a light. They also have a wand or a staff in their hand. We know from the cards so far that we've had in this reading that the staff or the wand is really emblematic and significant in terms of action and doing things. And in this case, it's doing things by oneself, taking one's own course of action, lighting one's own path. It's a card of sometimes supplication where we're able to kind of get by ourselves and really think about what it is that we want and what we're wanting to do. And so that's where this energy is starting to come into fruition too. And the outcome for this is about, again, 4 months out. That's where that moon energy really starts to take effect and hit us pretty hard. That's going to be a pretty powerful energy that's going to happen. And at that moment in time, this is where things are going to be at with regard to this reconciliation and regard to this relationship and so on and so forth. But really where your life will be at, where you'll be at kind of mentally with everything, is going to be kind of this, kind of going it alone for a period of time. This is a really good card here because it gives us a time of just kind of introspection. It gives us a time of contemplation, And this is a time for like rest and renewal. So if you've been like really taking a lot of action and doing a lot of things, trying to make things happen, and it's maybe taking a toll on you mentally or emotionally or spiritually or any other way, even physically, this is a card for kind of like giving yourself time to kind of relax a little bit, kind of come down off of that type of busy energy. Oftentimes when the Hermit comes up, it's about spiritual development. So if you happen to be spiritual, or maybe you're into like a rest and renewal or some kind of yoga retreat or something like that, would be good. But it's really about reconnecting with one's life path, one's dharma, one's ultimate goals, and really coming to terms with a lot of that. And coming up, and you'll get a lot of psychic insights, a lot of new things will start to birth themselves out in your mindset when this energy starts to play out. What's the key to that? Well, the key to that is the Two of Swords. It's weird because I'm actually looking at the card even though my eyes look like they're looking away. That's just the way that so I'm looking at the card, even though my eyes are looking away, but I'm actually looking at the card. It's weird the way that this thing goes. But anyways, with this particular card, again, we have the moon. Like we said before, the moon is very hypnotizing and it has an effect over us. Sometimes we can always see what's in plain day. And so we see this kind of twilight in this particular scene here. Then we see a young woman. She's blindfolded. That's represented as not being able to see everything. We have the swords. That's two different decisions or two different ideas in our head. Which one do we choose? It's having to make a decision. We see the water in the backdrop, which is very psychic inducing or instinctive, and it creates like a really nice playground for spiritual development or for introspection or for meditation. This is a very psychic and very intuitive thing, and water represents the unconscious. So it's about unconscious thinking, unconscious doing, that type of thing. And that's what the answer really is. It's for you to let go of your doubt, your disbelief, anything that you might be feeling that's holding you back from this reconciliation, anything that's holding you back from really getting what you want, and just really letting it go and trusting that things are going to work out for you. Because I can tell you just by reading this and just from what I'm picking up inside, that for you, everything is going to be okay. That there's a lot of power within you in order to achieve much. And I see that you're going to be very successful. Just about everything that you touch is going to really start to prosper in your life. And I really see, as far as this reconciliation going, if it's really what you want, if it's what you decide you want, it's definitely something that you can have and something that you will get. There's so much more to this reading than just that reconciliation, though. So the cards have given you so much more information than just that. So try to think in terms of like when this period of time comes in about 4 months from now. We said it'll be early November, the last part of October. Keep in mind that October, toward that time, we have really this kind of a Libra energy. And that Libra energy is about the scale. It's about balancing things. A lot of times that's when justice, starts to come about. But what we're going to start to see when this energy starts to unfold or manifests itself is things are going to really come to you, and you're going to be able to get a lot of insights, and a lot of success is going to come your way inadvertently. You won't even have to really try. It'll seem effortless to you. You will be doing, but it just won't be as conscious action. It'll be more like unconscious actions. So everything that comes to you will be kind of more indirectly. You'll just get sort of like ahas, like a lot of deep, profound aha moments. A lot of things just you'll intuit and they'll be right, and you'll be very, very much in alignment. And this is a perfect time for doing some reflection or some meditation, because if you do that, if you take a little bit of time to do that, it'll pay off huge dividends later on as you're starting to build up things for yourself and to move your life forward. Well, that's really it. I don't think there's really much else to say on the matter. I think I've pretty much exhausted this one. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to serve you in this way. I really do appreciate it. As a monk, it's my service, my duty to help people. And that's one of the things that I vow to do, and I try to commit myself to doing. If you guys watching this would like to help our mission, the monk's mission, and different things like that, You can, of course, donate monetarily by going to helpbydonating.com. And I'll have that link in the description below this video if you want to check it out. It's helpbydonating.com. And right now, I'll also have another link in there of things that we're needing as far as things donated. So maybe if you have something that you'd like to donate, it will have our address on the paper. And it will also have links to the things that we're specifically needing in particular. And these are things that can be picked up at Menards, which is a home improvement store, for our little project that we're working on. And then there's a couple other things on this list that are technology related, because we're trying to maybe take the channel a little bit up and maybe improve it to some degree. And this list will continue to be updated, but I'll put the link in the description below this video. You can check it out. If there's something you have that you just don't need and you'd like to donate it, we would love to have it. Just let us know after you donate it so that we can take it off the list, so that somebody else doesn't try to donate the same thing. So anyway, there's that. If it's easier to donate monetarily, though, that's always great too, because then we can just go down and pick it up from Menards or wherever. So anyways, thanks for that in advance. It's just helpbydonating.com. Now, thanks for watching this, of course. If you like the video, please hit that like button or the thumbs up. And then also make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And then if you want, hit that notification bell icon that's below this video. If you do that, every time we come on, you'll get notification that we come on. And if you have a question or something just comes up in your life and you just want to get some clarity or insight on it, you can drop me a message in the chat while we're doing these videos. Sometimes it does happen that people do jump in on these chats and ask me questions, and then it kind of extends the session for whoever I'm doing a tarot card reading for in that moment. But it also helps them. And, you know, oftentimes when I'm doing these readings, I'm really in a very psychic state of mind. I just can't even really put it into words. You can ask me something and then it'll just come to me like automatically. All right, so that's pretty much it. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I love you all. If you need anything, I'll also have my email address in the description below this video. So please feel welcome to reach out to me anytime you need something. I'm always here for you guys. And Monique, as your tarot coach, I'm always here for you, of course, as well. So please, stay in touch. Let me know how things go. I do care. I do want to know how you're doing. And of course, if you need anything else, please let me know that as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Much love, much happiness, many blessings. I will see you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge.